Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Right, my voice and my screen is, can you all see, right? And can hear me clearly?
Yes.
Yes.
Time is up. Let's start. Please mute your mic unless there is anything for discussion. Right. So I'm Dr. Sohal. I'll be your module leader for this module business innovation. Right. Tonight or today's session would be basically your briefing on the assignment. I will be going through the assignment questions and I will guide you how to prepare the answers and all. Besides showing you the module expectations, module learning outcomes and all. So let's start. So the business innovation. How many of you are taking the first time? This is the first module. You can put the answer in the chat box as well, so we can continue. All right, Stephanie, this is the first module, right? Okay. All right. So those for the first timer, I will be guiding you the process, systems, and all, how to go ahead. Now, the aim of this module is to encourage the development of knowledge, understanding of the importance of innovation for the survival and sustainability of business enterprise. Basically, in this module, the student will be exposed to various theories and tools required to manage the innovation within the organization. There are 4 learning outcomes to be achieved in this module. The first learning outcome is to examine the nature, types, and sources of innovation and its importance to organization and national economy. The second learning outcome that you are going to achieve is to examine the innovation process necessary to create value to customers and create a conducive environment to foster the creativity and innovation culture within the organizations. Third learning outcome that you're going to achieve is to evaluate the strategies and policies used in managing innovation. And the last outcome is to explore the sources of funding for innovations, right? So these are the 4 learning outcomes you're going to achieve in this module. Let me show you, this is the syllabus or indicative content that you're going to study. Topic 1 is basically what is innovation and why it is important. Types of innovation, theories of innovation, sources of innovation, the process of innovation, innovation strategies and strategies for fostering the innovation culture, funding innovation, and sustaining and managing innovation. So these are the topics we're going to cover in this module. Basically, as I mentioned, today a session is more towards the assignment briefing and the expectation and guiding you how to answer these. And we have another session next week. We'll be covering some of the important areas related to your assignment as well. Now, I'm sure all of you have access to your student portal. And when you go to the module Business Innovation, there is a tab called Resources. Under the tab Resources, you will get a textbook, e-textbook, which is David Smith Exploring Innovation 2016, 4th edition, and McGraw-Hill. Also the textbook by Lee Sonson, 2017, Entrepreneurship and Innovation Toolkit. It's an open text publication and online resources in the learning portals in a form of your notes, slides, and PDFs, etc., etc. Now, how many of you have seen the assignment question? Have you seen, any one of you downloaded? You need to respond, please. That will help us to progress our discussion. All right. Okay. Stephanie said yes. How about the others? I'm getting answers only from Stephanie, is it? Yeah. Kathy, did you see the assignment? Jess? All right, Lee said, okay, very good, very good. Most of you have seen, right? Yep. Lee, it's okay. Once you reach home, this session will be recorded as well, so you can get it. But anything you can respond in a chat box. Yeah. Now the reason I'm asking you because we want you to go through together. This assignment is about the McDonald's, and I'm sure all of you are familiar with this McDonald's. McDonald's is known as an American fast food restaurant that has more than 36,000 restaurants worldwide that operates more than 100 countries around the world. The beginning of this McDonald's started with the Raymond Albert Kroc. He was the exclusive distributor of the multi-mixer milkshake market. In the 1990s, the two brothers, Richard and Maurice McDonald, who owned a hamburger restaurant business in San Bernardino, California, they were used to be the multi-mixer to serve their customers. So Raymond Albert Kroc heard about how well these two brothers used this multi-mixer for their restaurant. He visited the restaurant to watch and how the tiny low shop process the food in details. After that, he got interested in acquiring the franchisee right from after seeing the restaurant concept, especially about the self-service counter and the customer can get their fast food, right? So even before pandemic, there were many people involved in the McDonald's. But if you notice nowadays, even in Malaysia, there are more towards automated. Now we can put order in the kiosk and all. They're making more towards automated. They're adding more innovations. So this is a brief about assignment. Now there are 3 tasks you need to prepare. And all these 3 tasks, you can actually prepare one assignment, basically prepare one report. Now, the first task, referring to the types of innovation model, which we'll be describing in the next class, the types of innovation model describe the branding and marketing aspects of McDonald's business aspects of innovation. You may refer to the attached article by Mayer. Now, let's look into the Mayer article first before we come into this task again. Right. So there's an article by Pauline Mayer, which was published in 2020. There she basically discussed about the marketing aspects of McDonald's and how McDonald's are bringing innovation through the marketing. So if you read this, there will be, she'll be discussing, you'll be noticing about the marketing product mix. She is discussing about the places, distribution of the McDonald's marketing mix. Then promotion mix, what are the things the McDonald's is doing. And for the price and pricing strategies, what is the bundle pricing strategy? What is the psychological pricing strategy? And then there are some other relevant article also, if you're interested, you can go through. But reading this article would be giving you enough indication for answering your task 1 already. So the task 1, referring to the types of innovation model, describe the branding and marketing aspects of. So in terms of marketing and branding aspects, what are the innovation strategy McDonald's is following? Right. Can you guys see my screen now? Am I in the PowerPoint or still in the PDF? Just let me know what are the things you are seeing now. Yeah. All right. Thank you. To share it together. Okay, thank you. Task number 2, referring to the types of innovation model, describe any business organization or structural aspects of McDonald's in business innovation. Now, first task is basically you will be talking about the branding and marketing aspects and what are the innovation McDonald's is adopting. It's not necessary to particular context of any country. You can give examples from anywhere you want. This can be from Malaysia or other part of the world also you can. The second one, they are talking about the organizational structure. How this the organization look like? No? Is it top to bottom or bottom to top, or multi structured? So to facilitate this, you can read the second case study by Thompson. When you see this Thompson's article is talking about the organizational structure and its characteristics, and a case study by Andrew Thompson on McDonald's. If you look into this article, he is giving enough information actually how the McDonald's is maintaining the global hierarchy, how McDonald's is doing the performance-based divisions, what are the function-based groups, all these informations are available in this second your article. It is not necessary to refer to this article as well. You can do your own research about the organizational structure, and you can show a kind of comparative scenario, how or what are the innovation McDonald's has adopted in terms of their global operation in the organizational structure. So the moment you read this article and you read about the global hierarchy or performance-based or function-based groups, you will have a basic idea how their organization is look like and how they are operating in different parts of the world, like in the US or in Europe or in Asia Pacific countries or Middle Eastern countries and other countries and corporate, including the Canada or Latin America and other regions. Their corporate structure is one and their regional structure is different. So what are the differences, and to make these differences, what are the innovative items they have included? You can discuss about this. So that is about your task 2. Now, task 3, they are saying describe one of the key risks the innovation faced at the time of it was done, and recommend a risk management strategy for innovating the business, especially franchising or restaurant food franchising business like McDonald's. So there's another article by Stis, which published in 2020. You can get some idea from this, but not necessary again to stick to this article only. You can find some other article or journals online, internet. So let's look into the Stis article, what it look like. Right. So by the Joel Stis, his full name is Joel Stis. The article was published in October 27, 2020. So what are the risk factor or what are the risk strategy or innovative strategy that McDonald's is doing? He has briefly discussed here in this article. So he said, if you were to seek the average McDonald's customer who founded the fast food empire, there is a chance that they would guess it somebody named McDonald. It is also very likely possibility that they would answer the Ray Kroc. While the Kroc may have taken McDonald's to such as a grand scale in these humble beginnings, we were nearly forgotten. It was the brothers Richard and Maurice McDonald who truly were the fast food restaurants. So you see, basically, Ray Kroc took a challenge and adopted an idea from Maurice McDonald, who were basically running the restaurant business. Then he combined. Then he thought about how to how to provide the food and also the drinks at the same time. Basically, Ray Kroc, as I mentioned earlier, there was a provider of mix shaker, multi-mix shaker. Now, the risk factors they discussed basically the globally operation. Even though McDonald's is a single brand, if you look into the outlets or the branches in Malaysia and branches in Singapore or even Thailand, they are localizing the items. They also look into their competitors and try to be competitive in so many other ways, right? So these are basically the risk factors. An American fast food restaurant is doing a very successful business even in Asian countries. This is there are many the challenging factors or the risk factors, but with the help of innovation and all, they are overcoming all these factors and they are successfully running their business all over the world. Now, do you have any question at this point of time? I open the floor for the questions. You can unmute and yes, Stephanie, go ahead.
Hi, sir.
Yeah, like,
Good evening. Hi. Actually, I have a question regarding the question. They were saying the article is attached. However, on my portal, when I download the assessment, it's not attached, the article.
Yeah,
Where
I
can I find
detected
it?
this morning, and if you download it now, you can get all 3 articles. Okay, one
Okay, great.
article is actually the properties is very large, which I need all of your email address, and after this session, I will email you. But 3 article, if you download this your assignment, you will get it now.
Great,
I
thank you
noticed
very
this.
much.
Yeah, thank you for pointing this out, Steph. Yeah.
Thanks.
Okay, in terms of questions, do you have any the task? Do you have any question? How to answer in terms of your understanding? Okay, Lika said no questions. Okay, not at this moment. All right. Now, this is the task I have explained, and the word count is not exceeding 4,000. So anything below 4,000 or 4,000 is fine, but it is significantly less than 4,000. Let's say 3,000 or less than 3,000. Then we might deduct your marks, or in some cases you might fail in the assignment, right? Okay, just confirm me. Are you seeing my PPT or the PDF file again? Please confirm me. Right. The important data, you need to remember this. The submission time is 31st March. 31st March 2020 is a UK time, which is before 12 midnight. So this is an important thing you need to remember. So the word count is 3,005 to 4,000 in between, plus minus 10% is acceptable. But if it is significantly Crossing the 4,000, it will also reduce your marks. It will be deducting your marks. Now, let me guide you how to answer, how to format. This assignment, all of you need to write an executive summary. Also note that total word count is not included in your what you call in executive summary. So basically you can start your word count from introduction to conclusion. Referencing are also not included in the word count. Now, executive summary, there will be gradings of 5% of your marks. Now, what is to be written in the executive summary? Those who are taking for the first time. In the executive summary, you are giving an overview of your assignment. Overview in a sense that what are the expected things, what you have covered, and what was the outcome. Briefly, probably within half a page or max 1 page, but don't go for 1 page. Try to complete within the half page, should be fine. You should write executive summary in such a way, a reader like me or any other lecturer, when they read, they know what is this assignment all about. I hope you got an idea how to write the executive summary. I repeat it. Executive summary will give an overview of the whole assignment. A reader should know what is this all assignment about and what was the outcome. Then you will start writing formally your assignment. You note that you don't need to answer 3 questions separately. Task 1, task 2, task 3, no need. So you can actually write an introduction about the 3 tasks, which is also be graded at a 5% marks. Then you will be moving to your body of the assignment. Harvard referencing is also graded as a 5%, which the referencing will follow the Harvard referencing stack. For your spelling, grammar, and word count, you see, when your total word count is between 3,005 to 4,000, you automatically get 5% marks. So very easy to score. So spelling, grammar, and word count all will be 5% marks. Now, that's the important part, your body. Now, what is the body of the assignment? What are the expectations? Mainly in your body, understanding the existing body of knowledge with a wide range of information supported by accurate and relevant material, completeness and relevancy and accuracy. Now, let me go one by one. Use a wide range of information. I mean, when you answer the task 1, you should, of course, I have given you one article. You can give the reference of it. You should find some other articles, some other journals on the same topic. So you give referencing. So that is the kind of wide sort range of information supported by accurate and relevant materials. For example, the task 1 is asking about the innovation adoption of McDonald's in terms of marketing and branding. So make sure when you give the references is relevant. It is complete, relevance, and accuracy. So you need to answer 3 tasks. So when you answer 3 tasks equally, it is complete. Let's give you completeness. And relevant means when you are using the sources of information, make sure are relevant to the task. So you are giving sometimes we notice that students are giving references. Let's say the task 1 is saying your branding and marketing, but students are talking about something else. Students are talking about the financial items of aspects of McDonald's. So that is not relevant. That is not relevant. And you won't get any marks for this actually. So you see for this section, 25% marks are allocated. The second and the largest chunk, the biggest chunk of the marks is 55%. Application of the knowledge learned. Now, what is the application of knowledge learned? Earlier, I showed you the syllabus. In the syllabus, we talk about what is innovation, types of innovation, innovation model, there are a lot of theories. So while you are answering the task 1 to 3, you try to use the models or some theories linked to your task while you are answering. That will give you more credibility. That also show that the learning objective design for this module, you have understood, you have gone through, and you are applying it in your assignment. Then contextualizing a related appropriate concepts or model, or demonstrating some sound knowledge of appropriate theories and concepts, its application to issues. So the task 1 says branding and marketing of aspects of McDonald's, and what are the innovation. So if you know, read what you call the types of innovation, you will say that there are 4 types of innovation. Now, you can say that McDonald's is following these types of innovation, or radical innovation, or we call the slow mover or the fast mover, etc., etc. There are different types of innovation, and there are models. You can relate to this. Then the third task, if you notice, they're asking you for recommendations. What are the challenging or risk innovation risk factors of McDonald's? So some student, I noticed previously that they are really making some quality recommendations, and some are writing recommendations for the sake of writing only. They don't see the reality. The recommendation, for example, you think is suitable for Malaysian context. This same recommendation may not be applicable for the same McDonald's operating in Singapore or Thailand or some other parts, right? So again, when you're making recommendations, you need to be very clear. You are making recommendation for McDonald's in context of Malaysia or Asian market or European market or US market or the Latin American market. So student, they are making very general recommendations. You are at the bachelor level, and you should answer the task in such a way which is applicable to the real life. So this is how actually understanding the situations and making some quality recommendation at the same time is also will give you high chance to score distinction in this module. And the last part is the conclusion with the supporting ideas which are relevant and important to the situation, and identification of the improvements to the current situations. So these are the area how you can score a distinction grade, how you can achieve them better grade. Despite from my previous experience, despite we are saying you should follow this, you should follow this, student don't seem to listen. It's stated very clearly, executive summary 5%, and still I received the assignment, there's no executive summary. So finish, you cannot get the 5% marks, 0. Out of 5, you'll get 0. But if you write an executive summary from your understanding, depending how you write, some will score 3, some score 4, some very rare cases 5 out of 5, but they will get some. But don't write, they don't simply write starting with the introduction. You should write at least half a page for executive summary. Then you also should write about the table of contents. Some student, the table of content, the way they write the number of the pages and the context and doesn't seem the same. So table of contents you should put, but there is no marks allocation. Of course, that will that is the another requirements as well, right? You should put it. So in this section, do you have any questions? I open the floor for question again. Stephanie, no question. Okay, all right. So if there is no other questions here, or Maggie also no. All right, very good. So you understand this is good thing. Now, this is the some other instruction for you guys, the formatting part of the assignment. that the font for the assignment, you should choose New Times Roman. The font size should be the 12. The line spacing can be 1.5. The portrait page layout. The margin should be 25 mm on the both sides. This all the information are also written in your assignment question. I don't need to explain much, so you can read it from the assignment questions. Now, those who are the first time or taking the first module, this is the assessment or the grading assessment criteria you need to follow. So as I mentioned, there will be 3 grades: pass, merit, and distinction. So pass mainly 50 to 59. Anything less than 50 is fail. So you need to resit for the paper or repeat the paper in this module. So the pass grade shows a reasonable understanding of the major factual or theoretical issues involved, shows the evidence planning and selection from the relevant sources, demonstrates some knowledge and the relevant literature. Text shows in place, examples are clear, then you can simply score a pass grade. However, if you want to get a merit grade, you need to show a strong evidence, which is the referencing. Evidence of critical insight and critical thinking is one is the referencing. Second one is also your understanding of the theoretical part and its implication or relevance to or linking to your writing. Show a detailed understanding of the major factual or theoretical issues, directly engage with the relevant literature question set. It also need to show the development of a focused and clear argument and articulates clearly and convincingly with a sustaining train of logical thought. You need to show clear evidence of planning and appropriate choice of sources and methodology in terms of writing. If you meet this all criteria, you can easily score the merit grade. The last is the distinction grade. In order to score a distinction, the marks should be somewhere between 70 to 100. It needs to show a clear evidence of wide relevant reading and engagement with what they call clear conceptual issues that also help you to develop a sophisticated and intellectual or intelligent arguments. Your writing should show a rigorous use of a sophisticated understanding of the theories and answering appropriately between the factual details and key theoretical issues. The materials are evaluated directly with the assumptions and arguments challenged or appraised. I mean, when you are answering in terms of this case studies of McDonald's, your argument, as I mentioned, you need to support with the references. You need to use a wide source of references. It's not only about your talking. You need to show the way you are talking or the way you start writing your arguments. Is it supported by some other sources? How it is linked to the theory and how you critically evaluating their policies, existing policies and all, and then how you're making your recommendations. That task number 3, you need to make some recommendation for McDonald's. So this is about the grading, merit, pass, and distinction. Right. So I think I have covered basically. Okay, this is the structure again. I have already briefed you. You need to start with the executive summary, then introduction part. Referencing would be Harvard referencing style. So the marks distribution is the same thing I have already discussed. 3 sections, basically body of knowledge and application of the knowledge learned and your technical part. So that's all about what you call your assignment briefing of business innovation model. Do you have any question? You can ask me. Any questions? No question, right? Okay. I have sent a link in the chat box. This is kind of survey forms. We need to learn from hear from you, whether you guys understand or not, and we want to hear some feedback. How can we improve? This is part of our policy. It will take 1 or 2 minutes. Kindly complete this. You let me know once you are done. Then I need to show you something. Then we end our session here today. All right. Those who have done, please send me your text me your email address as well. There's some additional notes. I will email you after this session. And Stephanie also confirm me after this, you try to log into your student portal again and see whether you can download all the 3 articles. You let me know if there's any issue. All of you, please text me your email address. All right, Casey, thanks. Now, the next session, please take note, you need to get some preparation. Read all these 3 articles before the next session. Read all the 3 articles. Then I'll be, when I'm explaining, you can understand better. And then if any question also, you can ask me. That's number 1. Number 2, if you read it, it will be easier for me to cover more from your theoretical part. So I can explain theoretical, and I will show you some example from the from the articles, and you can link to it. And I will be showing some examples how to answer your assignment. So 2 part. One, you need to read first. So when you read the articles, then you will know whether you understand or don't understand. You got more questions or not. So you will get prepared. Number 2. Number 3, you all need to use a computer so that we can have some activity which will help you to understand better. So get this preparation. Probably the next class will be in the next week. Somewhere you will get the same link as you received for this class. So if there is no other question, I will end the session here. And by tomorrow, you will get some additional notes on the case studies. So any questions? No question. All right then. Thank you. Thank you very much. See you in the next class. All right. For sure, I will send you the email. Thank you. Have a good night.